Hi everybody.
Hello.
We are so happy to be here today with Anna Marty. And if you've come into the office during the week, you might have interacted with one of our receptionists, Anna. And you're also the baptism coordinator, right? So if you've had a baptism recently, you might have worked with Anna. And I have enjoyed working with you, Anna, for the past several years. So we are here today to talk about another way that you can interact with God. So we have a lot of videos on ways to pray. And Anna and I have enjoyed having conversations about just our faith experiences. But before we kind of get into that, Anna, is there anything you would want to say to our parishioners just to introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, I guess I've been here working for about 5 years, but I've been a parishioner for a while. I have 3 kids. They went all through the CCD program here. And now my youngest is going to be a junior in college. Yeah, so we've enjoyed Nativity so much. I'm so grateful to be able to be working here. And yeah, I guess that's about it, a little nutshell of what.
Thanks for sharing. And you and I, Anna, do enjoy talking about just kind of our prayer and things that inspire us. It's fun to be able to come to work and share about that a little bit. And one practice that you've shared with me is picking a word of the year. So maybe that's a new idea for many of you watching. So could you share with us a little bit about what a word of the year is, how you pick a word of the year, anything like that?
Well, it all started quite a few years ago, and it was just started with this friend of mine who gave me an ornament at Christmas time, and the ornament was the word joy. And I just was kind of thinking about that. Oh, you know, you see that a lot at Christmas time, and I just started thinking about that word, and I was like, well, maybe I should think about it more than just the Christmas season. And so I kind of thought, well, maybe I'll just look into the year thinking about joy and what does it mean. And it was really funny because it started popping out at me. It popped out at Mass or when I was doing readings. And I didn't write anything down. I just kind of just looked for that word. And that led to me thinking, well, maybe another year I'll do another word. So that's how it kind of started. And I really didn't think much about it, not really getting too into it. And the next year I was like saying, well, maybe I should get a good word from God, not me. So I started praying about my word before. I was like, the new year. So sometime around Christmas, I would kind of think, is there another word that I should be thinking about God? So it just so happens words would kind of pop into my head. And I'd kind of simmer with it a little bit and then, decide, well, maybe this is something that I should be doing. And then I knew the word would come another year. And so about 3 years ago, this is like maybe I've been doing this for about 8 years or so. But about 3 years ago, I was like, I should be writing this down. And so I started journaling. And the first year, didn't read much or write much. But this past year has been awesome. I've copied different things that I've read about, Bible verses or something that the priest has said at Mass, or just instances that people have said with my word.
And when you talk about journaling, it's more when you notice that word, you'll write down your response. Yeah. Do you ever go back and read?
And I have, and it really is amazing when you reflect back and just read through what you've written. But I didn't make it, I made it fun, because I think God really wants us to relax with Him too. So I didn't pressure myself. Like I said, the first time I didn't even write anything. And it just kind of evolved over time. And
so 8 years later, you're still doing it.
Yeah, and I didn't stress over, oh God, what's the word?
Right.
In fact, one year I couldn't find a word, and I was like, oh, maybe He wants me to continue on with my word last year. So I did that. And
so when we've talked about this before, I've kind of picked words of the year before, but I'm not very good at following through. So I have a word for like January in the new year, and then I forget. But if someone wanted to try picking a word of the year, when you say you ask God about it, you think about it, is it how do you do that? Do you just say that?
Yeah,
when
I do.
You have
I
a quiet prayer? Or?
So I've gotten to the habit of praying every morning. So I start my day off with that, and then I just kind of would every morning think, oh Lord, I mean really casually. I'm thinking about the word joy. Give me some some signs or whatever.
Like an ornament.
Like an ornament. So, yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. It really is. And as I said, if you don't feel like there's a word out there, maybe it's, maybe it might not. I think there was one year, it wasn't like January 1st, I gotta get my word, and nothing was coming. So I was like, well, in his time, he'll give me something. And that was, I think, the year I went back to Joy. I think it was that. Joy was 2 years in a row.
He wants you to be joyful, Anna, and clearly she is.
So, anyway, yeah, but it's been really fun. It really is kind of neat. And I've shared it with other people, and we just talk about, well, what's your word? My daughter does it.
Yeah. So it's almost like it's a way of, when you have this word, you just are noticing God more.
Yeah.
He probably is always speaking to
Always
us,
speaking.
but it's just when you have that one word, you can pick it out in the readings, like you said, or so it's just maybe it's another way.
It is amazing how it does kind of slap you in the face sometimes. On the word. Yeah.
Right. So if you're thinking about this prayer practice, it doesn't have to be started on January 1st, like you said. You could choose a word now. You can ask God, not choose a word, ask God what your word might be. So thank you so much, Anna, for sharing.
You're welcome.
We really
Thank you.
appreciate it. Yeah. Hope you all take care. God bless.
God bless.